Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. It is 71 already. What a forecast coming your way in a second for the Cubs game and the White Sox games tonight. We will get to that in a second. Also, just about 6 minutes away from your first shot at a trip to Vegas, baby, for the When We Were Young Festival. A full VIP trip. You'll see all the emo bands of your dreams and get a trip to Vegas, of course, too. So your first chance at it, the first keyword, the new one every morning we do now, is coming up in just about 6 minutes. Plus, $750. The frenzy begun yesterday for 21 Pilots tickets. A song scramble. Just made it. I think it's tougher than yesterday. Yesterday, I'm not saying it was easy, but a lot of people got it. The 21 Pilots heads were ready to go. A song scramble is 3 songs, just a couple seconds of 3 songs, flipped around and scrunched up, and you got to figure it out in order and give it back to us. But I think today's is tougher. I think for sure it's going to be a little tougher.
People did get it kind of fast yesterday, I have to say.
Yeah. Kenzie was ready to kick back, put her feet up, take a break. This is going to take a while. Nope.
Okay, super ears over here. All right.
Didn't happen. So, yeah, today's a little tougher, but 21 Pilots tickets for the show in Tinley Park. And as I was making that montage this morning, the song Scramble, Case walked in and I had it cranked in here. And the speakers were just bumping. And he goes, so, we discovered 21 Pilots, huh? Yeah. Every time, you get used to a band, we bring out the new music, and of course, you love them. And you say, I love 21 Pilots. But you didn't spend enough time with them sometimes. And I spent some time with them again this morning, and before I knew it, I was just lost in a cascade of sounds and just forgot where I was for a minute. And forgot how good the damn band is.
The damn band.
The damn band is so damn good.
I guess to clarify is what happened was there were 2 soundproof walls between Brian and I could still hear 21 Pilots through those walls.
Yeah.
And so I had to come in and check on it just to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, it was like bumping in here. It was bumping. Like I had a subwoofer in my Chrysler LeBaron, my 6-disc changer. Yeah, I was just raging.
You love bumping. You love bumping.
I love that.
Well, the thing with 21 Pilots is when you're like, all the sounds, there is a lot of sounds, actually.
A lot of sounds.
There's the
It's very
rivet
sound effect heavy.
They got the beats. They've got some synthesizer sounds, guitars, bass,
What else do they have?
vocals. We got vocals.
They've got drums.
Drums.
Uh-huh.
Big drums.
They've got horns.
Horns sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just imagine we have this news station next to us, right? And it's like 3 in the morning. They're walking down the hallway with a little coffee, a little eye rub, And then you hear the choo-choo, choo-choo, like loud as hell. They're just trying to do their little nice, political update.
Amy in Maryville said she heard it. It was about an hour and a half ago. She said Maryville was bumping this morning with 21 Pilots, not on the air on Q101 or on the smart speaker or on the app or, any way you listen to us, but just she heard her walls rumbling. And heard it was me all the way to Maryville bumping that 21 Pilots this morning.
It hit the Richter scale, I think.
Yeah, what's the last thing? Because yesterday you were cranking something in your room at about 4:30 in the morning.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember what it was?
I do, but it was dumb. It was embarrassing.
Oh, we got to hear it.
It's this artist that's playing Lollapalooza. Her name's Willow Avalon, and she's got a song called Home Wrecker where I ain't no home wrecker, but he made a wreck out of me. And I like her a lot. And what's
her name again?
Willow Avalon. It's really embarrassing that it was that loud, but I like her. She's really cool and she's really pretty, and I like her music.
You're like, please make a wreck out of me, bitch. You're just sitting there like,
Kill
please.
for that.
Kenzie, you weren't here yet, but he was smacking the console with his fist, and it was rattling the window. Because if you don't know our setup, Case is behind me in a windowed studio.
They put windows behind the host in the studio, which I always found to be a fascinating decision.
Yeah, so I can turn around. Here's the song he was cranking, Kenzie. There's no F-bombs in here, is there? Or?
In the second verse, there's an S-bomb.
Willow Avalon playing Lala.
Oh, no, turn it on.
Oh, geez, right there was the lyric video. It was
What's the lyric?
the S word.
Oh. Yeah, bring it back. Why not?
No,
Put it in that lyric video, huh?
is she a pure country artist?
Yeah, she
Okay.
opened up for Cage the Elephant when they did West Coast dates last year.
That's fascinating. Did she really?
She did, Kenzie. And let's spend a lot of time talking about how fascinating
Wait.
it is.
No.
Here- there's the I Ain't Home Wrecker. Let me hear that line again. I know Home Wrecker. Let me see here. Hold on. Ain't no home wrecker, but it made a wreck out of me.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I like it. I think she's really cool.
Is she like on country radio though?
Yeah.
God, and she opened for Cage the Elephant. That's very interesting.
Cage the Elephant are interesting guys.
Well, some of these artists cross over in the alternative country world. They go back and forth, and that's
I
good for
know.
them because they can be on both.
So that's what I was cranking at 4:30 in the morning since you asked.
Like you just think she'd be at like Windy City Smokeout.
Yeah.
She'd be Lala.
Thank God she's going to be at Lala.
I
Why,
said-
you don't want to go to Windy City Smokeout?
There's no place I want to
You
go
were
less than.
cranking this at 4 in the morning, but you don't want to be at Windy City
There's
Smokeout.
no place I want to go less than Windy City Smokeout. And,
Why?
And respected them for the work they do. Not my scene. Not for me.
It's fun.
That's
What's
the
wrong?
problem. That's the problem is that it's fun. There's a lot of people that like having fun there.
Okay, big problem.
You don't want he doesn't want to be around the country bros with chain wallets and,
Yeah.
and just holy jeans and
Boots.
police
But
spot
there's
jeans.
different kinds of people at every event. Like you're gonna have some people you don't want to be around at Lala.
That's right.
The
She's
Jersey
right.
boys.
I don't know what you want from me.
I
This
know
all
home
spice-
wrecker. Hold on. I ain't no home wrecker.
Boy, are you offbeat.
Ooh.
You said she's hot.
She's really hot.
Oh, let me look her up.
you look her up while we get to the keyword. Again, if you're looking her up at home, her name is Willow Avalon. Willow Avalon, who just got a credit for an airplay here on Q101.
Oh, man, that was really embarrassing. I did not like that.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and time for a fact that makes your brain go. We're going in the Wayback Machine. 31 years ago. 31 years ago today, everything changed. And that's all I'm going to say for the tease. So you can guess at 312-591-8300.
Thanks for the guidance.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to give you on this one. So you can guess at 312-591-8300, but everything changed. We're talking about June 17th, 1994.
June 17th, 1994.
Everything changed.
Everything.
Everything. You take a guess. The top of your head. First thought, Kenzie. What do you think that is?
I don't know. A two-piece bikini was invented.
Two-piece bikini. Good. That's a good one. I like that. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I just like
I
that
feel like
guess.
the old school, like the first one that showed your stomach. You know, people had the two-piece, but it went like up to their chin, so it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. The two-piece. Are you saying like almost thong-like or?
Yeah, like something that would have changed your life. That's what I'm trying to think about here.
Okay, don't think about me specifically, but I do like that you're thinking about me.
Nate, you're welcome.
And thongs. Case, what do you think? 31 years ago today, everything changed.
I think 31 years ago today, the patent was approved for the modern sippy cup, and it's been easier to drink ever since.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Sippy cups.
Like for kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's some theaters in Chicago that if you get wine, they will give it to you in a sippy cup. It's like an adult sippy cup.
What?
Megan got one at the auditorium theater. We were
Like
there.
if you drink it, like your nose has to push the button so the liquid comes out?
No, it just kind of comes out. It's just like, but it's got a top on it, and you sip it out like a kid's sippy cup because they don't want wine spilled on their seats.
Have you ever been like, I do this. Once I get a sippy cup, I'm like, how's this thing work exactly? And then you gotta like sip out of it to figure out.
Yeah.
Because the nose one messed me up. I'm like, how is this coming out? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. And then when I took a sip of my nose went into it, I'm like, oh, I see.
Got it. Stuff's coming out.
I don't know the nose one.
Basically, it's completely sealed, so your kid could turn it upside down and shake it.
Uh-huh.
When you sip it, your nose presses into the thing, and then the liquid comes out.
It opens up the hatch, basically.
And kids can do this? Because I don't know if I have the coordination to do this.
Well, when I was supposed to start sippy cups my baby's nose didn't reach. And I'm like, I don't know why you're not getting anything. I don't know how to turn this. That's why I had to sip out of it. I go, I got to figure out how this thing works. Hold on.
So she sprayed him with a hose. You got enough water now?
Honestly, we stuck with bottles. Everyone's like, put him on a sippy cup. I'm like, F it. He hates them. He dumps them everywhere. We're done. Back to the bottle. I don't care.
And oftentimes adults do that with wine. And that's why Auditorium Theater, I know, had these sippy cups. They were really good for the wine there. So they got them for adults. We should normalize it for adults.
Okay.
Sippy cups.
I like it. Can I make one more guess real quick?
Sure.
219 checked in. This is gonna be my new guess. Is June 17th, 1994 Kenzie's birthday?
Nailed it.
Happy birthday, Kenzie!
How dare you age me? I was born in 95. I'm disgusted with you both.
When we come back after Sum 41,
I'm in my mid-20s, basically.
2 minutes, 53 seconds, holding on to that mid-20s.
Basically.
How I feel
Hold
about
on.
that.
We'll tell you what happened 31 years ago today that changed everything.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. 31 years ago today, everything changed. Kenzie guessed the thong two-piece bikini was unveiled.
I was guessing one of the first trashier bikinis was on Brian's radar.
Again, this isn't about me, but I'm glad you're thinking of me. And then Case guessed first that the sippy cup was invented.
Uh-huh.
And then second on the text line, what'd they say again?
The June 17th, 1994 was Kenzie's birthday, which it is. Happy birthday,
Yep,
Kenzie.
happy birthday.
It's not.
22. Happy birthday.
That's facts. The rest is
Even with that year, somehow it
the
just
rest is a lie.
magically happened. Nope, that's not the case. What happened on June 17th, 1994? Why don't I just play the audio to give you the answer? Here it is. This comes from television man Larry King doing an interview.
This call, I understand we're going to go to a live picture in Los Angeles. Is that correct? Okay. This is Interstate 5, and this is courtesy of KCALR, one of our L.A. affiliates. Police believe that OJ Simpson is in that car.
I'm going to stop right now because there's only like one channel on the radio. I hate that. But OJ Simpson, the Bronco chase, happened 31 years ago today. Now, what happened in this chase, it went for 60 miles across Southern California after OJ Simpson was a fugitive because the police wanted to speak to him. He had to surrender himself to police for the murder of his wife or ex-wife at that time and Ron Goldman. So he was told to surrender to police regarding those murders. He wasn't necessarily going to be arrested or, at this point, whatever. They just wanted him to surrender to talk to him about the murders. He took off, and the chase started in South Orange County, ended up at Simpson's Brentwood home. 90 million people in America watched this live as it turned on, and once they found out what was going on, 90 million people were watching it live. I remember watching this.
Wait, so, because I don't remember the order of operations. I know a lot of O.J. Simpson stuff. But
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet in 94. I don't
Right.
know the exact order of everything. So he was already fleeing, and then this is way before the trial and everything.
Way before the trial, he was just ordered to surrender to police, and he didn't.
Wow, that's not a very innocent person activity.
Nope, not much. Not much. Now, also, his football teammate, Al Collins, was driving it. And, of course, there's been some funny parodies on Seinfeld of that. But he was saying, back off. He's got a gun to his head. So allegedly,
Oh my
OJ,
God.
allegedly OJ had a gun to his head. And he wasn't saying he was sorry. He didn't admit guilt at that point. But he did have a gun to his head while he's driving on the highway. It was and all the cars. I just remember the first time. And it was, in a way, it was like first Twitter, where everybody was watching the same thing and talking about the same thing. And it was in the middle of the day, too. And it was a huge day. There's a great 30 for 30 about that day and what happened on that day. Besides the OJ chase.
60 miles? Did they not have to stop for gas at some point?
I guess they filled up beforehand.
Okay.
This is why it's important to always have a full tank, because if
Yeah.
you're getting chased by cops.
I mean, on a Bronco, I'm guessing a Bronco in 1994 probably got, I'm guessing, I'm at 16 miles per gallon.
I would have guessed 7. It just seems like it would be a gas guzzler.
You can do a fact check on that if you could try to find the gas
My
mileage of a
God.
Bronco in 94.
Okay, all right.
This is why I don't ask certain questions, because you maybe Google it.
Kenzie, why don't you help him out with that? That'd be great.
Fine.
So
13 miles, 12 to 16 miles per gallon.
They were on the highway, so you get better mileage on the highway. However, and they were going a pretty slow pace. Usually, the faster you go, the less gas mileage you get.
How were they going a slow pace? It was a car chase.
They weren't going like 90 or 100 miles an hour. They were just kind of cruising at about 50 or 40. The cops were just all behind them, all the cops. If you've never seen this video, Kenzie, you got to watch the video.
It was a 50-mile-an-hour car chase?
Yeah, because they didn't want to cause any accidents or, shoot him on the highway. So they just kind of let it go, and they were trying to talk him off to pull over. Now, they don't do that with today's people.
They were trying to de-escalate.
Yeah.
Instead of do the pit maneuver to ram OJ into a barricade.
I just keep hearing the Family Guy audio. I just want to talk to him.
That was OJ. It ended with, I just want to shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the largest television coverage event in history at that point, except for like the ending of MASH. Like that, it was 90 million people watching it. And I remember everybody, I was working at a radio station just starting out. And I remember, everybody kind of gathered in the TV room because you couldn't put it on your phone. And like, what's going on here? That's a white Bronco. It's OJ's in there. I don't know what's going on. And it became a defining moment in American culture. And also that Bronco, it was owned by Al Cowlings, who was the guy driving it, but it was sold and is now part of an exhibit at the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. The Bronco is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's history.
Right
You
there.
know what I find interesting is anybody who shops at Target a decent amount will notice in the women's section, and I think the girls section too, like preteen or whatever, there's a lot of Ford Bronco gear. And I always found that so odd. Like, there's a lot of cars that have, people like Jeep Wranglers and stuff. I'm like, who is this huge Ford Bronco following? All these Ford Bronco shirts, they have one on there. And I feel like every time somebody sees a Ford Bronco, they're going to think of OJ Simpson.
Yep.
I just found it the odd. Am I wrong? Is there, a huge Ford Bronco, group of people like there is Jeep Wrangler and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is. Because Broncos came back with a new design several years ago, and there's a lot. They're really cool looking. I kind of want one.
I'm not a car guy in the slightest, but the new Broncos are really badass.
They are.
I look at it. It looks like an OJ merch line. Every time I look around, it's just weird.
Well, got some more people checking in, doing the deep dive for us. The 94 Bronco had an estimated range of 384 to 512 miles on a full 32-gallon tank. 32-gallon tank they had? I fill my car now, my Rogue is 16 gallons.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
The Bronco had 32-gallon tank. It must have cost
crazy.
$400 to fill that thing today.
No, that's when gas was $180.
What was gas in 1994, Case?
In Los Angeles. I have to look it up in
Okay,
Los
in
Angeles.
Los Angeles.
1994,
That's a good point.
Gas,
That's fair.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's City of Sinners. They've all got higher prices.
Oh, relax.
I'm seeing earthquakes. In March, gasoline rose from $1.09 to $1.22.
God. Such good times.
We used to have it better.
Except for OJ killing people.
Well, that was a bummer.
Yeah.
Not a good time for everybody.
Now, Jason checked in because it was funny. OJ, I think, was in Chicago right around that time. He flew in or something and flew out. I think he was trying to get an alibi. And Jason said, I just drove by the Holiday Inn in Rosemount where OJ flew to when he came to Chicago that week.
Really?
Yeah, he came in that week. Jason, go back to the
At
hotel.
that Holiday Inn in Rosemont?
Yeah. Jason, turn around and go back to that hotel and see if they have a ledger with OJ's signature in it.
I have to say, I was just going to say, do you think they did one of those, you know how when you go to restaurants, whatever, they have the celebrity signature, pictures that they hang up? How bummed do you think they were when, a week later, they had to take it down? This is awesome OJ stayed here. Oh, we killed someone. We just put it up. This is going to be our thing, is that OJ stayed here.
Well, 31 years ago, the OJ Bronco chase, and it gives us a chance to play the audio from the late, great Norm Macdonald on Saturday Night Live when he was on the news desk. And this is what got him fired from Saturday Night Live, all the jokes he did about OJ.
Well, let's get to OJ. OJ Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind OJ of how much more killing he still has to do. The most popular Halloween mask this year is OJ Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses or treats. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." In his book, OJ Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. You don't get worse luck than that. Testimony during the final week provided some spellbinding moments. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
A lot to get to in sports coming up here after the Chili Peppers, where some awesome things going on with the Cubs and the All-Star voting. The information about Joey Chestnut being back in the Nathan's Hot Dog Championship, and something you may not want to hear about your Chicago Bulls. All that coming up in just about 5 minutes. But first, we gave you the fact that makes your brain go. 31 years ago today, the OJ Bronco chase happened. Some of you were alive, some of you weren't, but you've either seen documentaries about it and how insane it was when it happened in real time. 90 million people in America watched it. Kenzie asked some questions about the Bronco because in Target she sees some very cute gear for kids with a Bronco on it. And Chad from South Bend checked in and said, I want a Bronco t-shirt that says complicated legacy. But because Kenzie wasn't aware that Broncos had kind of had this, rebirth on the street.
I just thought it was an odd choice for Target to launch a Ford Bronco graphic line because I can't see Ford Bronco and not think of OJ Simpson.
Well, Faith checked in, father of a 19-year-old daughter, and said the Bronco is the current vehicle of choice of his 19-year-old daughter. So there you go. Christy checked in from Lowell. I have a 2022 Ford Bronco. Love it. I also own a Ford Bronco shirt. Similar to Jeep drivers, they do that wave when they pass each other. Broncos wear shirts. Bronco owners wear shirts.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know.
So that's why they're selling so many shirts, because you have to wear the shirt when you're driving your Bronco, apparently.
It's the only thing you're allowed to wear.
You can't wear anything else.
The car won't start.
Think about how many of them you need.
Yeah, you need so many shirts. Juan checked in and said, what a Jeep owner thing to say, Kenzie, about the Broncos.
Why? I don't own one. I don't know.
I know you're being racist against the Bronco, apparently.
Well, yeah. That's my jam.
Also, another check-in that we had a listener that drove by the Holiday Inn that OJ went to after the murders to get an alibi. And someone checked in and said that Holiday Inn back in the 90s was called the Chicago DuPont Plaza. Just so you know.
Oh.
Good place for an alibi.
It does sound creepier, doesn't it?
Now it does. Now it sounds really creepy.
Plaza.
And Josh checked in and said, I remember watching the NBA Finals in the chase. The chase was in the corner. Mm-hmm. So you still had the NBA Finals on live, but the chase went to your screen-on-screen, picture-in-picture, so you could still see what happened if they were going to shoot OJ on live TV.
I guess you're not wrong. It's a funny way to say it, though.
I mean, or he's going to kill himself on live TV.
Yeah.
Or it was going to crash. There was a lot of options.
And then none of them happened. He just got out of the car.
He got out of the car. There was an hour standoff, and then they took him into custody. Wow.
I also thought this was interesting. Lara texted in and said, my diesel water delivery truck is 35 gallons. That's insane for a Bronco. That's how many gallons. We're holding the same gallons as the delivery trucks.
Now, I'm guessing you didn't expect this kind of content this morning with the fact, obviously, being 31 years ago that the OJ chase happened. We have more OJ content to give you. Because 2 years ago, when Kenzie was on maternity leave, Dickie Barrett of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, formerly of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, one of the greatest ska punk singers of all time, came in the show to talk to me in case when we were here just alone, and he didn't know that OJ had died.
So what happened was Dickie came in. He's such a nice guy. He's insane, but he's such a nice guy. He's so nice to us. And we're in a situation where it's Brian and I in the studio. Dickie comes in. We're putting on our headphones. Brian's about to come out of the song. I remember specifically it was Zombie by the Cranberries. And Dickie looks at us and he goes, what are you guys talking about today? And I give him like a Jordan shrug. I go, OJ. And he goes, oh, what did he do now? And right before we come out of the Cranberries, Brian goes, he died. And this is Dickie Barrett reacting live on the air to learning that OJ Simpson had died 24 hours earlier, and this is his one OJ story that he had.
OJ died. I did not know that. I know everybody's, veering off the road going, this idiot didn't know OJ died. I had no idea.
See, that's what's amazing that makes me jealous of your life in a way that
Right.
you are that just in other stuff.
Yes.
that you didn't sit there on Twitter or whatever. It happened yesterday, right at the end of our
Yes.
show. So like 9:45-ish, it was announced yesterday.
I never met OJ, but years ago, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones were on a record called Kiss My Ass. It was a tribute to Kiss that Gene Simmons put out himself. And I was to get in this limo, go across town to a hotel, pick up Gene Simmons, and then we were going to start this press thing. As I'm driving across town, the news came on the radio that OJ Simpson's wife had been murdered.
Right.
And I'm like, what's going on? With, same thing. Hit with a ton of bricks. I'm like, oh, this is so strange. And just going on, and OJ has not been located. We don't know where OJ is, but his wife, Nicole, and
Ron Goldman
had been found murdered. And then Gene gets in, and I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you, Gene. How are you? Good morning and everything. Did you hear that O.J. Simpson's wife has been killed? And then Gene took a beat, and he goes, Dickie, O.J. did it. I'm still trying to process everything. This is before the car chase. This is before if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. Gene Simmons is has solved the case within moments of, first thing he tells me, moments of meeting him.
Dickie, I'm telling you, he did it.
All right, Gene Simmons says he did it. He must have done it.
Oh, boy.
I believe him.
The great Dickie Barrett, who was at Riot Fest last year with his other band, the Defiant Ones.
That's right.
Or the Defiant.
The Defiant Ones was the
documentary,
the Interscope music documentary,
which is incredible. If you haven't seen the Defiant Ones about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine and the creation of hip hop and Nine Inch Nails and metal and all that. Anyway,
came out 10 years ago. If you missed it, go check it out.
Is it 10 years old now? The Defiant
I
Ones?
believe it was 2017, so we're coming up on it.
All right. Well, a couple of years, 10 years old. Don't age it so quickly.
Anyways, different band.
Thank you, Dickie Barrett. That's enough OJ content for the day. Let's get to sports in 3 minutes.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.